Welcome home, Raiders! This week, there's a new build in the Legion Alpha, and you might not like everything you hear. Plus, more info on legendaries, the Battlenet news, and more. This is Convert to Raid number 212. 212!
You're listening to Convert to Raid, the podcast for raiders in the world of Warcraft.
The Convert to Raid podcast power station in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Today is February 23rd, 2016, and it is now 9:19 p.m. in the Central Time. And thank you so much for joining us from all around World of Warcraft land. And hello, my name is Pat Crane, the host of this little shindig, and also known as Zug around Airy Peak. The players are also here, and returning champion from California somewhere. I don't know. Nobody knows where he's at, actually. It's Daries!
I'm not going to be anywhere soon. If you watch the video, I'm disappearing. I'm fading into the background.
He's the invisible Daries.
So it is California, but in 3 days, it'll be Ireland.
Oh, that's right.
Poland. And then after that, I don't know.
That's right.
I might be back in 1984. I don't know.
So when do you leave?
I leave Friday morning for Ireland. And then I'll be in Poland on the 2nd, and I'll be there till the 8th. I was told I pronounced it wrong last time. It's
of course you did.
Katowice, Poland.
Okay. All right.
It's for IEM, for the Intel Extreme Masters.
Cool. Very cool.
So.
Well, let's go out and visit with our other friend on tonight's show from Line of Sight Gaming. It's Tatva. Hey, buddy.
Hey guys, what's up?
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Yes, lovely. It's a threesome well,
threesome.
not a threesome.
Oh, that went quick.
It's the gruesome
Wow.
threesome tonight. No, that's a different show. That's CTR After Dark. You know, if you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. Look out.
It's dark here, so
When is that broadcast on like Thursday evenings?
Oh,
skip the formalities.
yeah, I guess so. We're just jumping right in. All right. So, hi, fellas. To get out of that, hello, and welcome to the show, everybody. And this is where we talk about WoW and other Blizzard games, if you hadn't known that already. So there. Let's talk a little bit about what we've been up to this week. And Daries, let's start with you, buddy. What's been going on in your world? Other than you disappearing, of course.
Yeah, I'm fading away.
Yep.
Also playing too much Overwatch. Way too much Overwatch. To the point where it's cutting into my sleep schedule.
Are you overwatching? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not. Yes, I'm over watching.
You're overwatching?
I'm over. Yeah, I don't. It's a lot.
Name your top 3 heroes.
As far as time played, May is by far the top because I play her significantly on defense. But aside from that, a lot of Reaper, a lot of Soldier 76, some Pharah, it depends on the map and what we're doing. But I'm playing a lot of that, and also in WoW did another Moose run, and then after that for the mount killed Mythic Blackhand. With a bunch of people. Yeah.
Hey, congratulations. Oh, wait, hold on a sec. There we go. Volume was down a little bit. We got it back now. Congratulations. That's awesome.
Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, it was 20 people that were way over geared, so it wasn't. I think we wiped like 3 or 4 times, just trying to remember the mechanics.
Right.
And then went in and we killed it with, I think, 1 mage left alive. So it was super clean. You know,
super clean. It was great.
Yeah. And somebody got them out. We were doing like a EPGP or DKP kind of system. That way, everyone gets them out and it's fair.
Right. That's cool.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Awesome.
Killed Mr. Blackhand.
Very cool. Tatva, how about you? What's been going on with your week or so? Because we haven't talked to you in a while. We haven't talked to you. Oh, we haven't talked to you since you were in the dungeon race.
Oh yeah, that was not embarrassing at all. Not at all. Oh man, no, it was so much fun. Like that did actually happen quite a while ago because they actually recorded it beforehand and then they produced it and then they had Laura and Ian talking over it, whatever. Mm-hmm. Right?
I watched that at work, and my colleagues wanted to know why I was laughing so much.
Oh, shut up.
Well,
no, like I mean, there can be all sorts of excuses, but that's what they would be, is excuses. But yeah, the European team did awesome. They'd crushed it hardcore.
Right.
Like we were trying to be all sneaky and stuff with CCing, and it didn't work out.
That did not pan out. All. It was basically your how you dealt with ads that kind of killed you in the end. That's what slowed you down a lot. It slowed you down quite significantly.
A lot of things killed us in the end. It wasn't just the ads.
No,
like I think, I don't know, like it was pretty funny because I wish they would have like recorded like our voice chat and stuff and like put that in because it was pretty hilarious. Like I think one of the times when we were fighting Fenrir in Halls of Valor, like a random dragon just swoops in and starts fighting us too and just like annihilates all of us. And oh man, it was fairly epic. Yeah,
well,
I mean, like
that was fun though. I mean, it was good to see you guys in action. Even if, I mean, it was kind of weird anyway because we knew the setup beforehand where both teams recorded it separately and then they just showed the videos at the same time, and the elapsed time was the same, but you don't have that feeling of head to head at all, really, because it's just like you just trying to go as fast as you can, right?
I mean, it was pretty cool though, just how like they had it set up, and they're just like, we have people following you, recording you, like little spectators and stuff, and that's an awesome thing. I wish they would like enable that for people, like for players in WoW. Like they got some cool shots and stuff, and like I think the very first tune I played was a mage for like I got him to like level 30, and then I switched to a druid, and I've played a druid for the last 10, 11 years.
Right.
Anyways, and so I haven't played a mage in forever.
Right.
And I don't know. It was a mess. We didn't get much time to practice as a team just because Telly was in PAX with Daries, basically.
Yeah.
At the same time. Not with him, but
yes, at the same time.
So. And so we only actually got to get together the night beforehand. And so as a team. And so we only got like a couple runs at Halls of Valor, and then we're just like, okay, cool. Well, hopefully the CC stuff works.
Otherwise, we're gonna lose. Oh, whoops! That actually was the thing. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it just like the experience in general was it was a lot of fun, even though it was not so head to head and stuff. Just meeting Tally, running with killers. We've met him in the past, and then Monkey was awesome, really cool dude, just top notch. It was just a lot of fun meeting all those guys and playing with them, and then seeing the new dungeon. That was
that looked totally sweet.
It was insane.
Yeah, what is it called again?
Maw of Souls.
Maw of Souls, and that looked wild. It looked like you might need some Dramamine on the boat.
Yeah, if people had problems with Hans and Franz, just wait.
It's coming. It's coming. Anything else that's been going on? I know that you've been playing when you play Overwatch, you only play Reaper. And
that one night. One night
and every other night since.
Well, it was literally like I think we played for how long did we play, Darius? Like 4 hours or something?
Yeah.
And I did not change my character once.
No, I don't think you did.
The entire time.
Nice.
But I was like on a rampage, though. It was so much fun.
Oh, yeah, you're still doing really well. Reaper is really strong if played really well. So there's no problem there.
Oh, man. So, get this. So I went into the alpha today for Legion. And I was like going, I want to look and see what these other class halls are like. Because I've only seen Hunter and Shaman and maybe a couple of others. So I'm like going, well, let me play some specs that I have no idea what they are. So I grabbed a rogue and and I'm like, okay, I kind of get the gist of this thing, whatever. And I just kept dying all the time, and I'm like going, oh, this is not very fun. So I decided to kind of put that one to the side. And I was basically not being able to mow anything down. I was the outlaw rogue, and I have no idea what's going on with it. I don't know rogues. I've never played a rogue past like level 45. I don't know what I was thinking. But then
even rogue?
No, I don't rogue, bro. And then I decided to grab a mage because I have never played, and I decided to play fire, not arcane, which is the other one. Which is the other one that's good. Or arcane is the only other one available, and I'd played arcane back in Cataclysm, and I hated it, and I deleted my character. So that tells you where I sit with mages. And I decided to play fire because I'm like going, well, at least it's not arcane, which I didn't have a good time with. And I had an even worse time at fire than I did with the rogue. So I was like, oh, crap. You got to be kidding me, man. So then I'm like, okay, let me play a tune that I've played before and, that I kind of know. And so I picked up a DK, Frost DK. And I started having the exact same problems. I wasn't being able to like mow down anybody. And I was like, is this like, what? Did something happen in the alpha where just like everything is totally OP and whatever? And so I'm like going, okay, I got to zone out of this place, go back to Dalaran, and I just got to sort this thing out and see what's going on. And I realized that my weapons were broken. Both weapons were totally broken. I have no idea how that happened. No idea whatsoever. And I'm like going, okay, all right.
On all of the classes you played?
No, just on the one. I went back and checked. Oh. No, on the DK, on the one that I kind of know. I'm like, okay, let's go play this one. But the weapons were broken, and so I couldn't hit anything.
Just a regular mob, and you're there for like 3 minutes.
I know. And I'm like, going, what is going on? And so yeah, it was just a really terrible time in the alpha today. It was really great. We have a new build to talk about too, which is kind of cool. But we have some stuff to catch up on before we get to the actual news part of the news. And first, I want to talk about Convert to Mythic and their moose runs, daries, because it's been a wild ride. And I think this Sunday was the last weekend that you guys are planning on doing stuff. Is that right?
Yeah, so this past Sunday, the one that just went by, was the last set of runs that we're going to do for the Moose Run for the foreseeable future. It's getting kind of hard to get enough people, enough helpers, and it's getting harder to find people to actually give the Mises to. We're finding that if we send out about 30 or 40 emails, we end up with maybe 10 if we're lucky, of people that can either make it or don't have the mount already or something like that. So we end up spending a lot of time just trying to find people. So we figure that most people have gotten it if they wanted to get it by now, because there's so many opportunities out there to get this thing through other ways. But we've helped, I think the final tally was 208 people get a boost mount. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
And Man, I completely forgot what I was going to say. I was so excited. I got applause.
It doesn't happen often, so
I know.
Take it while you can.
But that
soak it in, man. Just let it wash over you, right?
Yeah, we might pick it up again. Maybe if there's still some people around when Legion, like the pre-events, start hitting. People start getting interested in the game again. But right now, it's people are dropping like flies, essentially. Like, there was a lot of interest to help at the beginning because everyone just wanted to play again and wanted something to do, but now. And
a lot of people have gone through Open Raid and through the other sources and through whatever and just gone and gotten these mounts. And, the good thing is, like, when you look at Legion, they actually do have a moose mount that is going to be available through leatherworking as well. So that's kind of cool. So you don't really have to, it won't be the same, but it'll be a moose and it'll be a mount. So it will be a moose mount. So there. But congratulations to you guys for helping out a couple hundred people plus. And
I like to say we helped out hundreds of people, even if it was only 200.
Hey, that's great. That's awesome. That's very, very cool. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, we're glad we did it. We'll look for future things to do with that in Legion, or if there's something similar, we'll continue to try to do that kind of stuff. But we're glad that we got to do it, and
right on.
And we're glad everybody got their. We should have done like this massive picture with all the flying Mises.
Oh boy,
that would have been cool.
Oh wow,
Should've thought of that.
Wow, that would have been really cool.
Yeah, it would have.
Too bad.
Oh. Mine would have been on the ground though. Sadly, even still.
Yeah, because you still don't have flying.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
that transfer to Alliance came at the worst possible moment. I can't go and do all those things again.
All right. And another thing that happened today that I just kind of want to bring up because it was weird. There was an extended maintenance today for regular live WoW for Warlords, and somehow, some way, there was a rumor that got started that we were going to get more Valor upgrades available to us. That we were going to be able to have 4 Valor upgrades.
What a dirty rumor.
It was a dirty rumor that I think Daries actually spread.
I probably started it.
So yeah, he started it, and so you can blame Daries. And the Warcraft dev said, we're not sure how this rumor got started, but we're not planning to add 4 Valor upgrades. This is not really a thing, guys. You don't have to worry about it. And I think a lot of people just went, oh, that's so nice. No more work for the Valor upgrades. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Do you guys want more Valor upgrades or what?
I could see it like benefiting the people who are still trying to push progression if they've ran into walls and stuff and they just can't get past a particular boss. Like if there's groups that are still like pushing, like I haven't raided since freaking October or something besides moose runs. It's been so sad, but for those people that have like stuck with it and are staying strong, it might help them get past that next boss, you know?
Yeah.
Why not at this point, really?
Exactly. Just open it up. We're gonna not do 4 Valor upgrades. We're gonna do 20. You're gonna be able to do 20 Valor upgrades. So we're gonna just make it insano. That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
and then you can just walk it. You can walk in with half a team and go kill the boss. It's fine.
You get to level 110 and you have to start downgrading your gear.
That'd be funny. That'd be awesome. And then one last thing, and then we'll move on to the raid news. Discord is a thing that we use, right, Daries?
Sometimes, yeah.
We've been using that a lot, and actually, I don't have mine up right now because I closed it for the show. But we've got a couple hundred people in there at least, and
yeah, we have almost 300 people in there.
Wow.
I think there's 220 people on right now. That's not including all the people that, are actually registered through it and all that kind of stuff. So there are a lot of people.
That's cool.
And yeah, there's always conversations going on in there if you're looking to connect with other guildies, even outside of WoW. It doesn't even have to be WoW related. There's channels for sports and all the Blizzard games, and for other games, there's a music channel. There's everything. So
that's right. You installed that music channel.
Yes, there's a music bot in there that just plays music.
That's awesome.
There's lots of stuff going on in there, so it's great. You can get it on your phone, your web browser, you can get the PC app or Mac app or whatever, and if you're just looking to chat with people while you're at work and not actually working.
And who doesn't want that? They want distractions. Yeah. If you want distractions, come join us in Discord. It's discord.converttораid.com, and you can check it out. It's totally free, and we hope that you'll come along and say hi. I know that we had a ton of new people coming in this week, so come on in, join the conversation. And now we will get to as soon as I get all the things up, we will get to the raid news.
Calling all raiders from around World of Warcraft land. This is raiding news.
All right, it's time to check out what's happening in the news for raiders around the World of Warcrafts. And first up, the latest from the alpha. Let's talk about some of this stuff. Tatva, the Eye of Ashera is up now. Is that correct?
It is up.
What does that look like? What are some of the things that we might run into in this wonderful place?
Naga everywhere.
You're not gonna do it. Is that it? You're not gonna do it.
Yeah.
Not gonna talk about it.
Not gonna talk about it. No, yeah, no, it's like the Naga have an updated model, so it's pretty awesome to see that all up in your face and stuff. So
up in your face.
Yeah, it's kind of just throwback to Throne of Tides. I mean, just it's awesome. Like,
well, and then you have the sea giants, and you have the sea witches, and I mean, it's basically, it's kind of like a lot of around Garibashi Arena, around that area, right? It kind of looks kind of like that, and so on. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Anything interesting in the dungeon other than the creatures or anything? I'm just wondering what your take is on it.
Yeah, I need to spend more time in there. Like I was in, like I don't know if it's just people aren't playing the alpha right now, but I mean I was in a queue for like 4 hours before I got in there yesterday. But
wow,
yeah, it was kind of rough. I played a lot of Overwatch while I was waiting, but and so I just kind of, got in there and it was kind of a rush through it and stuff. So I didn't get to enjoy it as much as I would have hoped. But yeah, I was hoping to go in there with you guys. I was trying to talk to you last night.
I know. Yeah, totally missed you last night.
It was very sad.
I don't know what was going on. I was probably playing Overwatch or something. I don't know.
It was very
Hearthstone
sad.
or something. I don't know. Play all of those things.
But yeah, but probably like the thing I was most, I mean, like I love new dungeons like that. I still, I can't think of it now. Maw of Souls. That's what it is.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Maw of Souls. That still is like the best one so far in my mind. But besides like the dungeons, the most excited thing I got about this new build was Demonology Warlocks. Like they still haven't released Feral Druids, but I was so excited to have that floating skull. Like it looked so sick. That artifact weapon.
The artifact weapon, yeah.
And so of course I jumped right into that and went through that quest and all that stuff. But it's so awesome. And Demonology is pretty cool. It's pretty fun just because you're like just throwing demons everywhere, just like go get them.
You're throwing them? You're just like,
some of them it kind of looks like it, like the Fellstalkers, those mobs from Archimond, or whatever. I guess they're they're all over the place. Anyways, those like dogs or whatever. And so you have those, and you can have a talent where imps are riding those things, and they just go leaping off, and that's pretty fun.
That sounds cool, man.
You have all sorts of demons attacking everything, and you're just kind of back there casting shadow bolts at things.
I gotta try that one next and see how horrible I am at that one. That one would be fun.
Yeah, it's weird. I was so bad. It was pretty awesome, but yeah.
Just here, have a demon. I'll just send those guys after you. I won't do a thing. I'll just keep on tossing them your way. Very cool. One of the things that I kind of liked was that there were a lot of new tameable hunter pets out there. So now they have, get this, if you play a Tauren, Kodos, they're there. You'll be able to tame them for Legion. That's awesome. And also like those shovel tusks from Northrend and yaks and a lot more. And they're starting to include the mechanical pets as well for gnomes and goblins and engineers, I think, as well. So all of these pets are starting to get out there for all the hunters, and now it's time for hunter hype.
I think at this point hunters can tame everything except druids,
which is a shame.
Yeah,
which is a real shame, because I want
to get up with that critter idea.
With
that gnome hunter should be able to tame critters.
Sounds like daries.
Pretty good.
It sounds like daries.
That's good. That was not me. I wish it was.
or maybe it was shark or something like that. I don't know. But you're right. They should just have like a little squirrel.
Yeah, it'd be so awesome.
Oh, that'd be amazing. And we talked about the leatherworking moose mount. I'm not sure there's a bunch of new stuff all the time when they do these new builds. There's a lot more than what we're talking about. And so if you're super interested, they do release all the patch notes, and you should go check them out because they're pretty cool. And I know that Wowhead actually does a really good job. Has been doing a really good job especially with professions. And I know like gathering professions are getting like this big, huge upgrade, and you'll be able to go out and gather stuff in the world and get quests, and then you'll be able to up your levels in gathering stuff and get more minerals and whatnots and herbs. out of these items. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Anything else, Alpha, you guys want to talk about?
Oh, I found an awesome little druid stuck in. It's an NPC, but he's just like I was just.
You were talking about
around.
Before the show, and I was like, going, "Oh my god, this sounds weird." Go ahead.
It was awesome. I was like on the quest for the warlock, or I was just running around on the warlock. But I went into like the first aid section. It must be where you learn first aid in Dalaran now or whatever. But there was this. I like walked in the door, and then I turned around to walk out, and on the left side there's this bathtub, like one of those old school claw bathtubs with a shower curtain around it. And there's this like old school druid seal form model, like just kind of chilling in there. And like you can go up and talk to him and he's just like, it's kind of a long story, but I'm kind of stuck like this for now. So, and he's just chilling in this bathtub in the first aid hut. I just thought it was awesome.
I don't know what they're smoking over there at Blizzard. It's good though. And it's probably legal. Maybe. Most likely. One other thing that did come up for Legion stuff. Let's talk about legendaries in Legion a little bit. Because this is kind of interesting, and I want to get your opinion on this. First of all, they said that, okay, so for Legion, there are going to be all sorts of different legendaries out there. There's going to be, what was the count? Like 100 and some odd legendaries. Whatever. I mean, it's just like they're scattering them throughout the world. They're just saying, hey, there's
everywhere.
Literally a ton of legendaries out there. Go find them. And super rare chance to drop and all this kind of stuff, but they're out there. And then you heard all of the upper tier of raiders kind of go, I don't like this. And I think even on this show, somebody said, I don't like this because this means that I'm going to have to be farming for legendaries or whatever. They've kind of developed that a little bit further. And they said at the beginning of Legion, number one, you'll only be able to equip one legendary maximum. Okay. And then Ian Hazakostas, he came in to say for mythic dungeons, or sorry, no, not for dungeons, for mythic raiding, there's going to be, what is it, an aura?
A suppression field.
Suppression field.
Yeah.
And so while you'll be able to get the stats from the item, you will not be able to get any procs. I believe that's how it goes, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So it'll still be a really strong item, but the strongest part of it, the procking, won't happen. And that's only for the first couple weeks, he said, or couple they didn't really give a specific.
It'll be until the race is over, probably. Or,
yeah,
it'll be after the race is over. At some point, they'll probably turn it back. They'll turn it off and they'll say, okay, go for it, guys.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We've got enough of this stuff. So, question for you guys, and maybe Darius, will start with you, is what do you think about this? Is this a solution in your mind to legendaries, the problems that they present for, especially for mythic raiders?
Solution? I think it's a good step. Basically saying, if you're not lucky enough to get this, because these aren't going to be something that you're going to be able to farm all that well. Mm-hmm. You're not going to be able to run a dungeon over and over again getting that item or whatever. They're going to be much more difficult to find and random. So you are going to have people though that are going to try to farm them for these races, because that's what you do in something like this. But if you happen to get 2 or 3 people on a raid team that were lucky enough to get multiple legendaries, and another raid team that might be in the top 5 that didn't get any, or maybe got 1 or 2, that's a massive disadvantage. So I think something like this did have to happen. I would have been fine with just removing the legendaries altogether for the first couple weeks, but I think removing the procs is a big enough nerf on the legendary items that it'll help. I don't know if I like the idea in general, though, of adding just legendary items all over the place in the game, or being able to just have legendaries drop. We always made fun of the cloak and legendaries like that, where it was just it was the Oprah legendary, where everybody got a
the
cloak.
People's legendary, I believe.
Yeah, the People's legendary, right. and these legendaries feel the same way, and that, I mean, that doesn't feel legendary to me in the terms of what a legendary item used to be in WoW, and maybe Blizzard is trying to redefine what that is. But it's a hard change for me to make at this point.
Well, yeah, and I know that I think that definition of what a legendary is has been kind of stretched and played with a lot over the course. I mean, since Burning Crusade, right? I mean, or since Vanilla WoW, really. But
up until even in Wrath, a legendary was this, in Dragon Souls even, was this thing that your team worked for, and it was very much like every raid team had one or two maybe, and it's very much gotten away from that, and I think Blizzard is moving even further away from that at this point. Anyway.
Right. Tatva, what are your thoughts on this? I'd love to hear what you think.
I mean, as far as like the race is concerned, yeah, like they needed to do something in regards to taking out the effects, because I mean, some of those, like reading through the list, some of them are so strong and they would be game changing, like Darius was saying. And so I mean, I think that's fair enough to limit that or to disable the effects for a couple of weeks while the race is going on.
Sure.
It's still a nice thing to have the high item level, so those stats are going to be a big help, but only having one equipped, it's not going to be like game breaking for that one person who has like, if they had like 3 or 4 or something, that'd be insane. And so I think it just balances that all out. But as far as like the legendary feel and stuff, I think it was me and Shark who were going at it one of the episodes about this whole topic and stuff. And I mean, I'm still kind of excited about it. I just hope the rarity of these items is way up there. Like,
sure.
I mean, because like if everyone's going to get them, like, I mean, like right now, everyone has the legendary ring. It's cool, like how it works in tandem with, you have your tanking ring, it works with the other tank. You have your DPS ring, it works with all the people in the group that have the DPS ring and stuff. But it's just, I don't know, like epic quality gear, sure, everyone should be decked out and that kind of stuff. But as far as like the oranges, those should be few and far between. And with the number on the list, it doesn't seem like they might not be as rare as they should, but I don't know. I think they're still pretty cool. Like the way that they're doing it this time is fun, just because a lot of those procs are pretty interesting, and it'll be fun to get your hands on one if you happen to be so lucky.
And for me at least, it won't be one of those things that you feel like you need to work through this big, huge, long quest thing, because I mean, for my hunter, for my alt, getting that ring again has proven more difficult than it was for the first time around, right? So I don't have the fully finished ring yet for my hunter. I'm not necessarily playing a ton with him right now, but I am playing. I'm keeping going every week and getting more, collecting more things and doing more things with the ring quest and all that kind of stuff, but not there yet. So I mean, that part is going to be minimized. It's going to be gone, as far as we know, from the legendary grind. And they also said that, I believe they said that the harder the mob or the harder the area that you're in, the more likely you'll be able to get one of these drops. However, it's still going to be extremely rare. So I think that the rarity will be there.
I hope so. Because I mean, like, that's one of the exciting things. Like, I don't know, I always go back to the days in like Shat and stuff, like Burning Crusade, the old glory days of everything when it was still a new, fresh game and stuff, and high-end rating wasn't as established as it is. There wasn't hundreds and hundreds of teams that, were high-end and stuff. And so you'd like come across these people in the city where you just see them and be like, oh my gosh, what the heck? But I mean, that's not going to be the case with these legendaries, because they're rings and bracers, and you can't see them on the character. But if you're like, queuing up for some random heroic or something to get your Valor of the day or whatever, and then all of a sudden, like, you have this bear tank and all of a sudden these roots start growing around them and stuff. You're like, what? And, you know, it will be sweet. And then you'll be like, oh, grats on the ring. And,
right.
you know, there'll be all these weird procs and stuff where you will notice people that have these items, and it will be an awesome thing to experience. Like,
but it won't be until you're fighting or whatever where you really start to notice the differences. And so that's it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it'll be cool. And then you'll go over and inspect them and see how awesome it is. And I'll go all pervy or whatever. It'll be sweet.
Go all pervy. And one of the other ideas that came up in this conversation on the forums, Ian Hasekostas brought it up, and he was talking about having regular item upgrades. I mean, just like going from, you know, eye level, just going to a higher eye level and increasing stats, to these legendaries, which have incredible procs. And he's like going, you know, I wish that we could do more stuff like that, where we could give a lot more equipment that would do something cool and make it feel more powerful, instead of just having an eye level upgrade or a stat upgrade. And I was just kind of curious if you guys thought that we could get away with just getting rid of those, you know, those lesser equipment upgrades where it's just a stat upgrade. Okay, whatever. Do we really need those anymore, or do we, or can we get rid of them? I don't know. I think we probably need to keep them, but I don't know. What do you guys think, Daries?
I mean, maybe there is something out there that they could do, because I do like the idea of getting something new and exciting. Everyone does. The eye level upgrades are a great way to, at the end of the expansion, to help players get over hurdles and things like that. So, you know, I'm never opposed to that. I think that's great always. But, you know, maybe there is something else they can do.
I just want to break in for just a moment for those guys that are watching the video, and especially those guys that are looking at Daries right now. He's been disconnected. He has the game behind him, and he's been disconnected from the game, and it's showing through his green screen shirt. He has like this black shirt with green stripes on it, and you can see the screen through the green stripes, and it says you are disconnected. And I thought it was really funny because you're kind of disconnected just from yourself because of those green stripes.
That's pretty fitting.
And so I was like going, that is a little meta. I don't know. It's a little weird.
That's pretty good.
I apologize for breaking in, though. I just had to share it.
Yeah, his stripes were lava as well. That was pretty sick.
Yeah, it is. So I'm sorry. What were you saying about loot stuff again?
I don't remember.
Right.
It would be cool to have something new constantly, but that's so hard to balance, and it's so hard to add something like that to the game all the time. But the simple upgrades over time, the eye level upgrades, the Valor upgrades, all that kind of stuff. I think things like that need to happen.
I just think about all the items that they introduce into each new expansion. It's huge. It's mind-blowing how many different items they include, because I mean, all the leveling items, all the dungeon items that you just end up, you know, melting as soon as you can, and then all the raid items, and then like there's the stupid stuff and the fun little toys and all that kind of garbage. That's an incredible amount of stuff. You'd think we'd be able to figure out how to get around just a stat upgrade.
Well, I mean, I think one of the biggest ways that they're already using to get around it is the tier sets. Like, those are always the most exciting, and weapons and trinkets. Anyways, those are always the most exciting pieces to get when you're in a new raid. And so, like, the new trinkets, those generally aren't, well, for my class anyways, haven't been just straight up stat upgrades. There are those kind of trinkets, but generally they're fairly unique. And then just a unique stat or item set bonus every single tier. Like, what is it, tier 19 for the first one in Legion? Or are we on 19 right now?
No, it's 19 for Legion. Yes.
Because I mean, that's pretty impressive to come up with that many or item set bonuses for each and every class and spec and all that kind of stuff. But no, it's always exciting getting those new little procs or whatever changes to the way you play your class. That's really what it boils down to, is equipment that can actually make your play style change.
Right. And you do burn through those leveling, upgrades and even like the beginning bosses when you're just getting like a small stat upgrade and you're not getting a tier piece or something like that. Those things kind of come and go and usually pretty quickly. So I get why they're there. You need to have them, I think, but it'd be better if it just I don't know.
It's easy to add piles of green items that aren't very well balanced, or they know that aren't going to be used later on, or have a lower eye level or something like that. But to add an end game item like that, there's a lot of balance that has to happen, because you don't want to add something that's going to break it. So you can't just add them en masse and expect them all to work out of the box. So there's a lot more work that goes into something like that. The greens that all the interns make, there's not a whole lot of QA that has to go into those. But
all the interns just make greens. That's all they're qualified for.
Yep.
And then like the junior developers, they do the blues, and then senior developers and the numbers guys, they do the purples.
And there's going to be a mob outside of Darius' house. Oh, and then one more thing along this like legendary line.
Yeah.
Like every week you introduce, from California, it's
Daries, that one.
Yeah, and so every single time you say legendaries, like it's just I'm waiting for you.
Legendaries.
Like, there you go.
That one.
Every time, like in my head, your voice just blasts off. It's amazing.
That's so funny. I get people that get mad at me when I don't say it like that. When I just say, it's Daries. People are like, no, you should say it's Daries all the time. Like, just chime it out. Go for it.
I have nightmares about this.
He wakes up sweating. Yeah.
I hear that voice, like cower under my covers,
sweating and cursing, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, no, I get it. Anything else on legendaries before we move on? I don't know, and this is still a thing. So the other thing was that Ian Hazukosa said was that they're still testing a bunch of different procs on these legendaries. They're still testing out these different stats and see if they work in the alpha. He said alpha is alpha, and this is a place to test it. So we're testing it. This is what we're doing, and nothing is final. Because they iterate the heck out of this stuff as they move through. We know that they do, so don't freak out quite yet. There's a number to call, I'm sure. So just we'll keep you updated on all this stuff as we move through and talk about some of the interesting things that we see anyway in the alpha moving forward. So there. The other thing that I just kind of want to touch on before we move into the Battlenet news is that
we're not going to talk about like the biggest nerf ever to come to WoW.
What's the biggest nerf ever to come to WoW?
The Water Strider mount won't work anymore.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about this. So there's another the new build today, and the two things were that garrisons, and this is for Legion. Okay, this is not for now. This is for Legion. Number one, no more garrison gold missions. That had to come. Right?
Yeah, that was coming. I mean, I think they've even said that was going to happen.
That had to be there. But the second one that is kind of taking people aback is no water striders will work in Legion. Right? Is that what they said? They said if you got a strider mount, that will only work in the expansion that it was gotten in.
Yeah, so 2 expansions later, they're nerfing the Water Strider mount. One of the best mounts in the game because of that. It will now only work in Pandaria, and the Crimson Water Strider is only going to work in Draenor.
Right.
So the only way to get that kind of stuff is the fishing artifact for Legion. That's how you're going to water walk in Legion.
Yeah.
It's literally unplayable at this point.
So what you need to do is you need to play a shaman or a DK and then you can get water walking, or Path of Frost,
or you just fly,
or you won't be able to fly right away though, so you're going to be kind of screwed.
Well, then I'm not playing.
Then that's it. That's it.
Done.
I'm out, Blizz. Later.
That was the last straw.
That was it. That was it.
I mean, it was easy for him to notice though, because I think every single person in the alpha of Legion has been using them to just get around because it's so much easier.
Yeah, it really is.
And so they're just like, no.
No.
No, sorry.
No, we're not going to do it.
I feel like it's more of a, we designed a lot of areas that you're not supposed to be able to get to without flying or something like that, and people are water walking to it. So instead of redesigning the area, let's do this and also make sure people get this fishing artifact.
Right. I think the thing that they'll probably back down on is that Water Striders will only work in the expansion that you picked them up in, and maybe say, you know what, we're gonna say Water Striders don't work for Legion. That might still be a thing. Who knows? But I think as soon as they see the outpouring on the forums, which I'm sure is quite vocal, I'm sure it's vocal. I think that they'll probably come back and they'll say, you know what? Okay, Water Striders are fine for past expansions. That's fine. But for Legion, no. We want you to experience it a certain way, and if you don't, it's weird.
It is my go-to mount when I don't have flying. It is the only...
Yeah.
Aside from the yak, it is the only mount I use when I don't have flying.
Right.
It doesn't make sense to use anything else.
Right. It really doesn't. So you almost sounded like a Water Strider right there. That was weird. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the sound they make.
That's the sound they make.
Little known fact.
You're very good at that. That's amazing. So that was the biggest news that hit WoW today.
Last 10 years.
The last 10 years. Water Striders coming to WoW was no big deal, but Water Striders only being used in the expansion that they were gotten in, that's huge news.
It's huge.
Biggest news
in WoW.
We should get our pitchforks and signs and stand outside.
I'm already there. I got it going right now. I'm ready to go right after the show. I'm flying to Irvine. That's it. Going out there.
You can just go take one from the poor interns outside your house right now.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot of them now.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. I may get sidetracked though, because there was this other thing that came out this week, or that was kind of leaked out this week.
Worst segue ever.
Shush. And it was the Chronicle Volume 1 of World of Warcraft. Of Warcraft, really. Right? Because it takes the Warcraft universe and it like Metzen is building this history of Warcraft. And Tatva, you're kind of into story stuff, aren't you?
I love it.
So tell folks about what this thing is. Did you read it? Did you look at the pictures, and mainly the pictures? I know you have a tough time reading, but just joking. I'm just joking.
No, I haven't actually had a chance to go into it. You said it got released?
Well, it got like leaked. Part of it was released as a way to hype it up, and Metzen was talking about it. He did a video on it.
Oh, the video. Yeah, I saw the video.
You saw the video?
Yeah.
Cool. And they actually have pages that are available that you can look at if you go to like MMO Champion or Wowhead or whatever. And even some really cool stuff like the whole direction of how the different magics work, and what that means, and
what's the Lord of the Rings one? What, the Silmarillion?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I think that's the history book. And so yeah, I mean it's awesome. Like I love, one of my favorite things about Blizzard, just in general, is that they're amazing storytellers, and it's cool that they're taking the time to put it all together. I'm not sure if it still is, but at some point, the WoW Wikipedia was the biggest one out of all of them, right? I'm pretty sure. Anyways, and so I mean that's awesome that there's just so much information and so much lore, and the universe is so big in regards to this, in regards to Warcraft and WoW, whatever. It's just an awesome thing. But I mean, to hear it, like it all put together from the people who know it best, like it's going to be awesome to flip through these different chronicles and check it out.
For sure.
It'll just be a fun coffee table book to show how nerdy you are.
But it was kind of cool. So I read some of this stuff. Darius, I don't know if you read any of this. Did you read any of it?
I don't know how to read.
Right. The pictures are cool though for you.
That's the pictures are
amazing. They got I can't remember. Peter Lee, I think, is the artist behind it, and he drew some really great stuff. So
the photos I've seen are amazing. This is going to be a really good book.
So cool.
Art in general.
Yeah, but I was like reading this stuff, and like I didn't know. I read about like in the beginning there were the elementals. And it was Alakir and Ragnaros and like all these other guys. I'm like going, yeah, I fought these guys. I've been fighting these guys. That's awesome. I killed these guys multiple times, all of them. And then the old gods came and blah blah blah, and it's just really neat, really really neat. So they're just trying to like finalize what their history is, and this book is going to cover basically up to Warcraft 1. So cool.
Perfect for leading into the movie in June.
Yeah. Yep. That's probably it. That is probably it. So very, very cool stuff though. I'm looking forward to seeing the whole thing, and this actually gets me excited about lore because I'm not normally a lore guy.
Was there a release date?
I did not see. I did not see if there was one or not. So I will maybe look soon. Who knows? But if you guys see it.
March 15th.
Is that what they said?
Yes.
Is that official?
That is what Amazon is saying the release date is.
Awesome. So Perfect. It is in time for the movie. Nice. I like it.
You know, it just adds meat to the game. Like, it's so much fun. Oh. Like, all the little, like, inside jokes and stuff, and like who is who and why are they doing what they're doing, and
right.
Like, I mean, even the Deathwing like storyline, as far as the Alpha, what is it, High Mountain, like his whole storyline, like Deathwing is one of the coolest characters in the WoW universe. I think just starting out Notharian or whatever, being the Earth Warden, and then I don't know, being whatever.
Yep. No, I got you.
By the old gods and all that kind of stuff, and you get a lot of that story in High Mountain.
It's cool, and you know, I don't even read quest text, but I'm willing to read this stuff. So that's cool. This is getting me excited for it. So it's all good. Let's go. Oh, what?
Can I get like an add-on that'll just skip the words and go right to the pictures?
Maybe you can get the audio
like I
book.
do with quest text.
Maybe you can get the audiobook.
All right.
Who knows? But for right now, we're going to go into the Battlenet news. Yes. When we took a look at the big headlines around the rest of the Blizzard universe. And up first, Turret Watch, as we called it last week, or as I called it last week, is not really a thing anymore. They're balancing. They did a whole big balancing thing, right, Darius?
Yeah. They really changed Bastion again. They changed the damage that he does. They changed the healing that he does, the way he heals, the amount of armor he has. They changed Torbjorn. Basically, teams were and pugs, like teams that weren't very well coordinated were just setting up a lot of turrets, and it was wrecking a lot of people. Torbjorn's turret was really strong even from behind.
Yeah,
and a lot of people are having a hard time dealing with it. It's a lot of new players haven't quite figured out the whole hero switching thing, and the counters and things like that. They're playing it very much like Heroes of the Storm or Dota or League, where they pick one character and they just go. And turrets were hard to deal with that way. So they changed that quite a bit. And I think it's in a much better spot. There are situations where those are useful, but not every situation like it was before.
I kept on trying to this last week. I kept on trying to play turrets on defense and stuff like that, and it was much more difficult, I think, for those random groups and stuff to really keep those turrets around, which is actually kind of a nice thing. So
yeah, they've really changed the way Torbjorn plays in general. Just he used to be just a hammer swinging mechanic. That was it. He would just sit behind his turret and swing the hammer and melt people. And now he's a very mobile character, which I think has made him a lot better. Your turrets are supposed to be these dispensable things that you set up, leave, and then you set up again, shortly after in a different spot. So I think they've made him a lot better of a character. His skill cap is a lot higher.
And the same can be said for Bastion as well, because Bastion, the players that I've seen playing Bastion have they set him up, and he's got like a half-second setup instead of a full second now. So he's really quick to set up, and then you're supposed to, after you're clear, guess what? You pick up and you move. That's what you do, and you can even run around and shoot people the normal way without being in a turret form, and it's still pretty good. So I don't know.
No, they're really quick to deal with issues like that, which is very good. They're very receptive to constructive criticism on the forums. They're being they're communicating a lot with players that are leaving good feedback, and they are changing things. They're definitely getting a lot of data out of the alpha, which is a good thing. So.
Tatva, what have you noticed as far as balancing stuff from your gameplay?
That Genji better hide.
Oh yeah,
Genji, better hide right now.
Genji's so strong.
I still hate that guy. Hate that guy. Oh my god, so strong.
The Nerf hammer's coming.
So
it's
strong.
Coming.
Yeah, it is.
And I still can't play Genji. I don't know why.
He's just so extremely mobile. He's insane. He can a good player with behind Genji can destroy basically
even a bad player behind Genji can actually destroy. So I have hope that I can actually kill somebody playing Genji. Not a plus, but just throwing stars.
Yeah, just as far as the turret nerfs and stuff, I think generally sometimes they go a little too hard with the nerf stick, and then it's just useless after that. But like Darius was saying, I think both Bastion and Torbjorn are in an awesome spot. Even still, I'll still play a little bit of Torbjorn on offense just to make people rage at me. But
sure.
But
we talked about pre-show.
Yeah, we did. That was so much fun.
So tell people what you were talking about pre-show, because that was actually really funny, I thought.
So Volskaya Industries is this Russian map where it's an objective capture type of map or whatever. And so you go in, you have to capture objective A, and we're in the lobby waiting. I insta-lock Torbjorn before anyone even chooses anyone. We're on offense, and everyone instantly is in chat just oh no, please no. Don't pick him, whatever. Just
giving him a lot of crap.
But then you go in and you just wreck it, and you're like, okay, cool.
Well, yeah, and so point A happens, and we had a good push. Everyone went in, but everyone ended up dying except for maybe one person. And I had my ult, and I happened to get my turret set up in level 2, and then click that ult button, and then all of a sudden your turret's going crazy. But the thing people don't understand, I think, that made a lot of people upset too, is Torbjorn used to get a lot of plays of the game in that way, and all it would show was this Torbjorn hitting his ult and then hammering on his turret, and then that was it. But I don't know if people don't understand, but Torbjorn's actual his shot, his gun, does a ridiculous amount of damage. It's weird to hit, kind of. Yeah. But if you get good at it, he does a ton of damage. And so, hit your ult, use your turret as a distraction, and then just go wreck face.
I was in a match, and Torbjorn got play of the game. And again, I think I actually saw the character kill another dude, and I almost wrote it in chat. What is this play of the game where you're actually shooting somebody? Why is this happening? You should be hammering that thing. So, it's funny. It's
pretty ridiculous.
It's fun to see all the different changes and stuff like that. And it's not ready yet by any means. But
anyways, the Volskaya Industries, we capture point A. But the thing with Torbjorn on that map on offense is that there's these moving platforms approaching the second the second objective, objective B.
Yeah, they kind of
there's
circle
platforms
around.
that rotate around and pass right by it and then come back. Anyways, if you're Torbjorn and you happen to have your ult at a good time, you can set up your turret on one of those moving platforms, and right as it rounds that corner, because it's a super easy point to defend, and defending teams usually just turtle up, and they're all right there. They just all are on the spot, and they can just hold it.
Yep.
Anyways, but right as it rounds that corner, you hit your ult, and then you like drop in behind them, and so they're freaking out because they don't know what this turret's doing up there, and then you're behind them just annihilating them with your right click or whatever, and it's just funny because you can wipe out entire teams like that. And
it's a good time. It's a good time.
And that's post nerf. Nerf, you can still do it.
Right. And I know that another thing that happened was Jeff Kaplan, who's the lead game designer, right? For Overwatch. He actually went to was it a forum post or was it just I think it was a forum post where he talked about, who was in the beta and all that kind of stuff, because a lot of people were concerned because all they saw were streamers and stuff like that in Overwatch, and they said, oh, it's just for streamers, blah blah blah. And for the most part, that's what you see because they're streaming.
Yeah,
because they're in it. But he said, no, it's actually a far smaller percentage than people are aware, and there's a lot more people playing the game that just are playing the game. They're friends and family of. I
think he said 1% of the total invited people were streamers.
They're just the loudest percent.
Yeah, they're the ones you see.
They're just a very loud percent. So so there. And so if you want to check it out, that's online as well. Guys, I know that you're not necessarily huge into Heroes, but Zool is coming up next week. We've got the North American Spring Regional from Burbank at the end of the month, which will be cool. Tons of great Heroes tournaments going on all the time right now, especially with Chair League and other places. So it's been fun to see. And I think I want to wait until like Gizmo or Shark or Mick are on to talk about the matchmaking stuff, because I know that these guys are way into
probably
matchmaking.
A good idea.
Oh my god, these guys are way into matchmaking. But there was just a post put up a couple of days ago about the matchmaking, kind of doing a review of all the Heroes of the Storm matchmaking stuff. So make sure to check that out as well. And anything else?
I got a text from someone today saying, like, basically giving me notes on things to talk about if we were talking about Hearthstone, because they were like, no one ever knows what to talk about for Hearthstone, so here are notes, and I lost the notes. So something about prelims, or I don't know.
There's a bunch of different stuff going on for Hearthstone too, and you can check out there's a whole calendar of events for the Hearthstone tournament stuff and all that kind of jazz as well. So it's cool. I like playing. I still play Hearthstone all the time, so I still get rid of my dailies.
A lot of people at my work have actually started playing it.
It's fun,
which is sad.
It's ETT. That's all that's what it is. It's a good time. It's a good time. So, anything else? Or are we just going to get out of here? All right, let's get out of here.
That's about it.
Yeah, I got nothing else.
Let's get out of here. Let's do it. But before we do, let's thank those that gave us a 5-star review on iTunes. Daries, who do we got this time around?
Man, we got a bunch this time. We've got Gnarly. He's active in Discord. I recognize that name.
Oh yeah.
Lantis Armstrong.
Gnarly and Bob. It's a.
Right.
Yeah, father-daughter leveling and other things in WoW, and they stream all the time. So check them out.
Right. The second name, I don't know if I should say that.
Okay.
Lantis Armstrong. Durin died again. Much Anger. Oh, I recognize that name too. Played with him quite a bit. He's a cool guy.
Yeah.
And Luminin.
That is correct. And of course, we keep getting great comments on YouTube and such. And thanks, guys, for all that stuff as well. And wherever you find us, thanks for finding us. That's it. Any shout outs this week?
I'll shout out to I don't know. It was like kind of down the grapevine, and I don't know where the rumor. Or I guess it wasn't a rumor, but apparently, like I went. My last few appearances, I've been wearing beanies the whole time, and so someone recently like it's just like, is he cold all the time or something?
It was actually winter.
It was someone that it was friend
you?
here. It wasn't me. No. It was someone that I was dating. And she like Googled me and she found the show, and then she watched the show and she saw you a bunch of times. She was like, "Is that guy always cold? Like, because he lives in Salt Lake City?" I was like, "Why?" And she's like, "Because he always wears a beanie." I was like, "Oh."
I'm in Minneapolis. We're much colder than Salt Lake City. I don't understand that at all.
It's been freezing here. Anyways, and so tonight I decided I'm just like, okay, fine, I'll ditch the beanie this time.
Yeah.
And I'm freezing.
And you're freezing
thanks.
and you're frozen.
I'm like dying.
Your toes are really, really cold. Your
like
head
my
is...
whole body is tense, and I'm exhausted.
Oh man.
So onesie is going on as soon as the show ends.
I love it. I love it. And as always, big shout out to those guys that joined us for the live show. Thank you guys so much for joining us and for making it fun and for asking, doing weird comments and having your own conversations. It's awesome. Yes.
I should give a shout out to everyone that helped with the Moose runs, just in total. Yes. All the helpers, the people that came.
Yes. For sure.
Everyone from CTR, from Alone, from Easy, from there were guys from Vodka in some of the runs. Just lots of great people. Thank you so much, and the hundreds of people that we got mooses for. Definitely appreciate the help you gave us. So
yeah, that's awesome. And yes, thank you guys for all that you do. And it's still going on around the community. So make sure to check out all the different Moose Run stuff that is available both in the CTR Guild and outside of that. There's still the Friendship Moose stuff going on, and I don't even know where all the other Moose runs are happening, but they're still out there. They're still out there. They're still going on strong. So, with that, I will say we cannot do this show without you guys at home. Thank you guys for joining us as always. Thanks for taking the time to rate us on iTunes. Thanks for the feedback and questions that we get all the time. And please feel free to join in on the conversation as you can whenever you want to. You can always join us on Discord, discord.converttoraid.com. You can email us at converttoraid@gmail.com. You can call us and leave comments and questions on our raid line, 612-787-RAID. That's 612-787-7243. You can follow us on Twitter at converttoraid or individually. Isn't that right, Daries?
Possibly.
Okay.
My show notes crashed.
Well, you know the stuff.
All right, so let me see if I can remember. Pat Crane is Pat Crane with a K. I'm Daries.
Yeah.
And that's at Boredmind, Boredmand.
Yes.
We've got Tatva. He's at Los Gaming.
Los underscore gaming. Yes.
The gaming in Spanish.
Yes. And
this other guy, I'm not going to say his name.
No, he's not. Shark didn't make the show. Shark had real life stuff going on. He
doesn't get a shout out.
That's fine. Shark, we hope everything's good. We understand real life happens. It's okay. But you guys can also join the Bazooba Guabo Nation by heading over to converttoraid.com, where we have show downloads, forums, videos, audios, tons of links for raiders, and so much more. All the guild stuff too. That's all over at converttoraid.com. For the live shows, you can head to converttoraid.com/live. We're also on iTunes, Google Play, live streaming on alphageekradio.com, and lots of other different places. Stitcher, sure.
Internet.
We're there too. Internet stuff, yes.
Go to your internet.
That's right. The Convert to Raid podcast is produced and distributed by Signals Media. Make sure to check out all of our friends at the Signals Media All-Star Network at signalsmedia.com. That is going to do it for the show. Whew. Thank you guys so much for coming around and tuning in. We'll see you in 2 weeks. We're off next week. I'll be in Colorado, so we're off then. But join us in 2 weeks, Tuesday, 9 p.m. Central. For all the guys that Convert to Raid, bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.